Up, everybody? So today we're doing something very different. I've been teasing it a little on the Twitter and the Instagram stories and not so much anywhere else, but that's because I don't really social media as much as I should for someone who's trying to revitalize the channel. But that's neither here nor there. You notice I'm at a different angle today in the salon/podcast studio. That's not done yet. That's because today we'll be using multiple angles. I want a new camera just for today. And check it out. This is going to be our double angle for the day. Because today we're going to build a Gengar. We're going to build a Gengar on stream. I've got a friend who's into this hobby of models and Gundams and stuff, and they kind of got me into it. And I figure my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel, which if you're here currently, hello in the present on the Twitch channel, and if you're on the YouTube, hello from the past on YouTube. But my channel names are What That Meowth Do, and I do almost nothing Pokemon related other than maybe some episodes of the podcast. So today we're gonna do the Gengar on stream, which will get moved over to the YouTubes, and I'm pretty excited because this is something different. I kind of want to do different things that aren't gameplay really. I don't know why. Maybe it's just part of my old age and realizing maybe I'm not as good at games as maybe I need to be. But regardless, that's all neither here nor there. Again, today is about Gengar. Today's about Gengar. If you build it, they will nightshade. Let's check it out. Let's do it. So obviously, the most important part of building the Gengar model in this box is we're going to open the box. Riveting. I don't think it has the same effect on people as the packs might sound like. You know, the rustling I do for the memes. But we're opening a box. Technically, this makes this an unboxing, not really, but, you know, whatever. We have one strap off. I don't know why they make these things, like, double-strapped Fort Knox. Like, I want to build them on, man. I just want to build them on. We got all the plastic off the box. We're going to open the box. And here it is. Here's a Gengar. All done. Unboxing over. Now we're going to build it. We're going to build it. Let's take all this plastic out of the equation. This might sound like the packs. This might get the juices flowing for the Pokemon collectors out there that I have out there in the What That Meowth Do TCJ extended universe. So we only have two sheets right here of parts that we're going to use. A little part just came off, but it's not an actual part. It's just like one of those leftover pieces, so it's fine. Oh, here's a third sheet. This one looks like it's going to be very simple. So this may not be a long stream, which may not result in a long video later. But, first time, the real important thing to me was, at least for today, was making sure we set everything up properly, which I definitely done a lot earlier than I had planned on doing. So if this takes that little time, maybe we'll open up a second one, or find something else to do here. But for now, the plan is Gengar with a hashtag we'll see. Here are our instructions. I'm sure you see this and you understand exactly what's going on. Right, but you know, for those of you who may not do this at all, we have all this stuff right here, all this plastic right here. And with all this plastic right here, in theory, if we don't royally F it up, our finished product will be something like this. I'm not sure which camera I should show it to, but something like this. So we're gonna keep the instructions right here. I like to keep the boxes in front of me for like loose plastic and yada yada. So we'll try to do something like that right here, and hope it doesn't take too much camera space away from what else is going on. This is gonna be a work in progress. So we have some basic tools here. We got like a little file, so you can take out those rough edges. You know, when it's a little rough to the touch, we can take care of that. For helping with the plastic cutting, we got these babies right here. Is that an interesting sound? I think it is. And then, you know, from itty bitty pieces and sticker play, we got tweezers. Kind of not ideal because they're kind of big bulky tweezers, but I got big bulky hands, so it kind of evens out and helps me use them. So we're gonna get rolling here. We're gonna open the book. What's step uno? So step one is pretty straightforward. We're gonna find the piece that looks like Gengar's head, and I guess all of Gengar looks like Gengar's head, and we're gonna insert his mouth. So for anyone who's never done this before, each piece has a almost like a bingo call, like B1, A whatever, and that's how we find it on the sheet. We find like sheet B, and then we find the piece that's B1, and that's the piece it's talking about. Just in case there's similar pieces, that's how you do your thing. So something cool about these Pokemon ones I've noticed a lot is you have two choices in the facial expression sometimes. So for this particular one, we have closed mouth Gengar, and then we have open mouth with a giant tongue Gengar. And I'm gonna do them both for step one, but I think it's obvious to anyone who follows along here which Gengar we're gonna end up with. And it's not gonna be a big smile, let me tell you. So it tells me that it's piece B1 and B2, the two face pieces. So we pick up the sheet that's B, 1 and 2, pretty clear what these are. It's the Gengar heads, which I guess they're all Gengar head, but Gengar is just kind of a head with arms and legs. But you know, he came a long way, or she came a long way. I don't particularly know which gender this particular Gengar is, but they came a long way. They used to be just a head with gas, and now I'm just a head with gas, and we're building the full Gengar. So we're gonna take these face pieces of the Gengar, right her, and then we gotta find the teeth, the appropriate teeth for each one. So it says here we have A1 and 2 for the open mouth, and A3 for the smile. So we find sheet A, which is right here. One of these pieces is kind of loose because, like I said, we lost a piece of plastic in the transfer from box to hand. So we're gonna we'll do A3 first. We'll complete the closed mouth that we're not even using first, and then we'll move on to the one we're probably most likely 99% using, and that's the open mouth, tongue out, silly Billy, Gangrel. Gangrel. Remember the wrestler Gangrel? He was like the vampire, and him and Edge and Christian used to just dump quote blood on people. That was a fun time in wrestling. Yeah, you'll probably, while we do this, get a lot of hockey references you don't get, a lot of wrestling references you don't get, because that's just part of who I am. I try to do hockey content on the stream and channel. Hockey packs of like Upper Deck or card collecting mostly, but today we're doing Pokemon. We're building a model. There might be a lot of ums and uhs today because I'll be thinking while I'm talking, which is never a good combination. Whether you're building a model, streaming or not, just say what comes to mind always. Nothing could possibly ever go wrong there. We have completed step 1 for the face we're not using. Gengar with a smile. So we have Gengar with a smile right here, and we're putting them in the box because we're not using them. Or her. We'll name the Gengar at the end. If anyone is in chat by the time this model is complete, we will name this Gengar. So if you're hanging out, you're lurking, keep that in mind. That you will be participating in the name of this Gengar eventually later. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do let the YouTube comments decide the name of the Gengar. But we'll decide that when the Gengar's done, because we're gonna give the Gengar we're using its mouth now. So we have the piece that's A3, or I'm sorry, A2. A2 3 was the closed mouth, and I don't know if you can see in there, but we have to insert until the holes click into the pegs. This isn't like those games when you were a kid, when you put the square in the circle, and the circle in the square. The circles go in the circles, and that's how you get your bottom half of open mouth Gengar. That kind of looks kind of creepy as is. But that actually slides into place very easily, which is exciting because that's not always the case when you're building models. Sometimes it takes a little tough love or sanding down or all three. So we have the top half of the mouth, the smile, the open smile, and then you can see the little holes it slides into right here in the empty face here, the empty face plate. And we just slide that right in. We match the pegs with the circles. This one also clicks right in without any trouble at all, which is always exciting when you're building these. That is horrifying. With no like inside of the mouth or eyes or anything. That is actually horrifying. But that's fine because we're gonna move on now to step 2. Step 2 is we're actually going to provide some eyes and inside of the head to our Gengar. So I can turn this around fast. We're gonna get this weird block of pink, which is gonna make up a lot of the inside of Gengar, and we're gonna insert eyes to it. So the eye piece we need is A1 and A5. Oh, I'm sorry. It's on sheet A1, and it's part 4 and 5. That's my fault. I got my bingo call messed up. So the good news here is that A15 is the part that we broke earlier. So that's an easy fix. We're gonna, because now we need it. So we're just gonna toss a bit of plastic away. We're gonna take the part we need, and we have A14 right here. We're gonna break this off from the sheet of parts. Everything's come off pretty easily so far, so we haven't had to use any of our makeshift tool set here. So that's exciting. So what happens right here, if you can see from this angle, is the red part of the eyes here are gonna slide into this purple part, and there's a hole in a big circle. Where, like I said, just like the game, we're gonna put the big circle in the big circular hole. This one is actually not sliding right in perfectly. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you need some tough love. Oh, and the reason is there's little slits on the side. So you pay more attention, you get what you deserve, and you do it correctly. So you gotta put the little slits and the little slides here. Put that on a t-shirt, the little slits and the little slides. So yeah, so now we've created the eyepiece that the step 2 wants us to put onto a bigger inside of the headpiece. So we have that right here now. Part of completing these eyes for real and not for play though is stickers, which is my least favorite part of building these models. Not because I dislike stickers as much as because I have clumsy hands. So we have the sticker sheet right here. It looks like we have options in how we can do these stickers. We can put the eye pupils in that black part around that is the pupil. The white part inside the pupil. Or is that the pupil? I don't know. If there are any eye doctors in chat or watching the video, let me know in the comments. And we can just put it on this natural pink part, or we can use these bigger eye stickers and give them kind of shifty eyes. And I personally think that this Gengar that I'm building today deserved shifty eyes. So maybe it might not look as nice in the long run because we're getting rid of some of that original plastic look. But I think we're gonna go with shifty eyes. I think we're gonna do shifty eyes to the left shifty eyes to the left. So that's sticker 4 and 5. So we're going to give those a peel right here. So part of why I hate using stickers, and maybe the bigger stickers will help with this, is you have to line them up perfectly or it looks jank. So real quick, we're going to see if I can do it without the tweezers, and if I can't, then we'll break out the tweezers fast. Because it's such a big area, this actually wasn't too bad. To just kind of to find the sweet spot and place on. So yeah, we lose some of that original plastic look, but that's alright, because I like the shifty eye. I like the idea of the shifty eye. So we have one shifty eye on so far. I'm going to take off the shifty eye of the other side. We could take the other eye and just have them like wide eyes in both directions. That could be fun as well. But now we're going to do shifty eyes. Shifty eyes to the left. We're going to hope we get the sticker on without the tweezers, because that means we did it first try. And we don't have to worry about destroying the shape of the sticker. Okay, so this one did not go on entirely perfect, but I think once it slides into place into the rest of the head, that will take care of a lot. So not perfect, good enough that we don't need to rip it apart, get the tweezers, yada yada, make this boringer. So here we have our eyes, our shifty Gengar eyes. And we're going to take this, put it to the side for now, because now we need a piece from A2. And that's piece 14 from A2. This chunk of pink right here. So let's... Again, plastic's coming off very easy right now. No need for the grabbers or the file. So that's fun. Grabber is definitely not the name of that thing. That I just said that right now for stupidity and no other reason. So there's two kind of like circles on the back here that we're gonna slide right into these two holes in the front, and we're gonna do that so that this weird like Gengar skeleton we have will have eyes. This is more horrifying than this, I must say. So eventually these two are gonna combine to make one full Gengar head. But as separate pieces, I am disturbed. So we're gonna put these to the side for now, while we look at what else we need here. So step 3 is we're actually gonna get the sheet A2, and it looks like we're gonna start forming the back of Gengar's head/body and give it its nice ear look. Those definitely aren't horns, those are ears. I don't think anyone was going to call them horns, so maybe that didn't need to be specified, but we're going to take that off the plastic right here. Again, came off relatively easily. There is a little spot we can sand right here, so we'll do it for the sake of sanding on stream. Hashtag sanding on stream, get that going. So it might be hard to see, but there's a little bit of rough spots here on the plastic, and we can use this sander, this file, and just kind of smooth it on out. Just kind of smooth it on out. And then, you give it a nice little clean so it doesn't ruin its purple color. Is that a nice sound? I'm very concerned with the sound you guys hear. Here on my channel and on my YouTube channel and on my Twitch channel. So we got the back piece of the Gengar head/body. We got it separated from the plastic. And now we're taking off this piece A211. Bingo. And this sheet actually doesn't have a lot at all. We're probably almost done with it. So we're going to take that. And this pretty easily, pretty simply, has two 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, if you can see them. And they're going to connect with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles right here. And I mean, a lot of times, especially in this case with this, the shape is pretty straightforward, and that'll help you kind of figure out how it's supposed to slide in. And if you're having trouble, just take it apart again, take a look at how it looks on the inside, and make sure you're not putting square pegs into round holes. You know, we don't do that in the playground. We don't do that here in the model building. So this part actually has a little part that can be sanded again right here on the ear. I try not to go too hard because I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin the purple, the natural purple of the Gengar. But you know, you just give my finger a little lick. Hashtag COVID. And clean that right off a little bit. And then we have this part of the Gengar head. Not as creepy on its own, the way that the rest of the Gengar is. So let's fix that by combining more of these pieces. Because step 4 is we're gonna take the pink blob with eyes, and we're just gonna shove it on in. We're gonna shove it on in the back of the Gengar head body. And again, pretty straightforward. We have 1, 2, 3 circles, 1, 2, 3 pegs, 2 and 2 on the top. This shape's pretty straightforward. You could probably see it from the front, but we line up the circles. We click it into place. Fits like a glove. Nothing too hard about this one, which is nice. Didn't want to struggle too much in the while we're live. And we have a very creepy, unfinished Gengar head. It almost looks like in a cartoon where you like just someone's like face gets ripped off and like, you know, it's just skull and flesh and weird. This is what we have. We have that moment as a Gengar right here in front of us. And this is where we have to choose which face we're going to use, which we obviously already did earlier. We're going to use the open mouth with tongue out. We don't have the tongue in yet, but the next place we have to do here on the sheet is we're gonna pick our face and we're gonna attach it to the rest of the head body. And this actually isn't too straightforward with how it fits on. So you kind of gotta look. So there's like a rectangle in here. There's a rectangle in here. And this rectangle is actually going to slide into this missing rectangle in the pink. And on the bottom, there's like a little plastic square that's going to slide into this little square hole in the pink down here. But, again, I mean, the nature of the shape of the beast here makes it all kind of self-explanatory of how it should fit together. But you just got to make sure you line these things up. And this way, it clicks in without a problem, and we just move right along. So here we have Gengar with no tail, arms, legs, tongue. It's just back to its roots as a Ghastly, a floating head. If you're watching or listening at home, I highly suggest you just play the Lavender Town song in the background. I think that would add to the experience quite a bit. It kind of almost looks like that other Pokemon, that ghost Pokemon, that literally is just a floating head that's not Ghastly. That's unrelated to Gengar at all, and it turns into like that ice goddess, Frostlass. Or no, it's... I'm sorry, it can evolve into that or the Frostlass. I believe. It's like Galele or something. Edit that out. Don't edit that out. For real, but... because I'm not going to edit it at all. But but that was a major womp on my Pokemon knowledge there. I wish I had one of my my Pokemon experts, like I'm Rick Harrison, in the chat right now to help me out with that one. But I don't, so what we're going to do is step 6. Don't mind Gengar's head just rolling around the table. Step 6 is we have the tail. We're going to put the tail on, and we're going to start turning this giant useless head into a Gengar. So we're gonna take 6 off of, I'm sorry, 9. We're gonna take 9 off of A1, no bingo. Again, comes off without any trouble, which is always nice. And you'll notice there's some grooves on here and some slats right here, and we're just gonna very easily just work these slats into the grooves. Click that into place right there. And just like that, our Gengar has its tail. So a lot of times with these Pokemon ones, I have a few upstairs. Maybe I should have brought one down as examples. I've done a Charizard, a Dragonite, a Mewtwo. One I'm forgetting. An Eevee. A lot of times, like, something about this will move and cause, like, something else on it to move. I kind of assumed, like, the arms would move the tongue, but I don't see any, like, hinge hair. And there's no, like, kind of complex mechanisms we had to, like, create in here. So I think this one's just gonna stand still and not have too much movement involved. So maybe next time I do this, I will bring down a different one, and we'll do one that has like a complex mechanism on the inside. This one seemingly has none. This one just seems pretty straightforward. It's gonna stand on its own, but we'll see. We're gonna put Gengar down. He's gonna roll away like a meatball. And our next step here is we're actually gonna work on giving Gengar some arms. So I'm gonna hold this up for the camera fast. We're gonna put together some arms. Here, we put that down a little bit better so you can see like the there. So we're gonna assemble his arms, and then we're gonna insert them into his arm sockets. So we need from A1, we need 6 and 7. So we're going to take 6 off the plastic here. We're going to take 7, or there's 2 6s and 2 7s, because there's 2 arms, and the 2 arms, I guess, don't specifically need to be on either side, which sometimes is the case, but this is a pretty simple one, as I mentioned a few times. So we're just going to take one of the 6s, one of the 7s. We're going to combine them right down here. This is going to be hard to see with my clumsy bass player hands, but we're going to put the pegs in the holes. These go in with, again, virtually no resistance, so that's fun. And then the other half of building this arm, because we have like the forearm area, but not like this upper area, we need to get like the little bit of a joint piece, I guess we'll call it, which is 8 on the A1 sheet. Again, luckily it comes off with no harm or foul. And we're going to take this circle, and we're going to insert it into this circle. And now we have an arm. With a little hinge, that acts as a joint, an old ball joint, so we can give him some arm rotation. So I think the best way to do this would be to just have the arm straight for now. And we'll take the ball joint and stick it right into the shoulder socket here. This should be pretty straightforward. Just push it until it clicks. And again, it kind of has like that ball jointness to it. Oh, or it'll rip right out, which you will do 1,000 times, I'm sure. I do it all the time. You try to move the arm away. It's not supposed to go, and you're gonna push it back in its socket. So we're gonna click that back in its socket. I know I said it probably doesn't matter, but this feels like it would work better on the other side. So we're gonna put it on the other side. No, it's like exactly the same thing. I got in my own head there. So we got the arm in. It has some maneuverability, but if you try to go too crazy, it pops out and you have to pop it back in the live TV and finish the match like your friend Baylor. He'd probably be a Gengar fan, you know? He seems like a Gengar fan. But our Gengar only has one arm. That's no good. That's not bueno. So we're gonna build another arm. So we're gonna take the other A16. I really wish we started with the legs, so Gengar didn't just roll around in stress and despair while I get these pieces together for him. But here we are. Alright, so just like the last hand, we're going to put the back part of the hand on the front part of the hand by lining up 3 pegs with the 3 holes. Which, if you don't have big, chubby bass player hands like mine, is probably seamless. And if you do, it just takes a second to line up, and then it seamlessly snaps into place. Give that a little bit of a file there. A little bit of spit shine. Which I'm sure is the best way to go about this, and any of the experts will tell you. Any of the big time model enthusiasts. And we got the joint part. We're going to take this joint part. Again, I feel like just having it straight is going to be the best for getting the hand on the body. I'm going to take the joint, like the ball joint here, stick it into the shoulder socket here, and our Gengar has 2 semi-posable arms. I don't love these arms, to be honest. I feel like the other Pokemon are way more articulate, and this is not actually, that's not true. They're not way more articulate, but the arms on this one just don't feel as useful and as posable as some of the other ones I've done. But to show you from your point of view, and not just me playing with it and figuring out as I go, here's our Gengar so far. Here's our movable arms right here. They're pretty movable. I shouldn't be that hard on it. It just looks like it should be easier to get the arms to move forward instead of backward, but they're good arms. I'm coming around on them. So for now, we'll just pose his arms up like he's scary, like he's doing a rawr face, like a. And this is our Gengar so far. I'm really hoping our next step is legs, because I want our Gengar to be able to stand. I don't like how he just rolls around like a potato when I put him down. It makes me feel bad, like I'm a bad owner to this Gengar. So we're gonna pick up our sheet here. Get that out of the camera's way there. Our next step after the arms are in fact the legs. So that's cool. So I will hold up the instruction sheet for a second so that the people viewing and people who may be interested in doing this someday can kind of get a base idea of our steps moving forward as I commentate them out loud. So it looks like we're going to do the top halves of the legs first, according to this. which means from the B sheet, the B team of parts, I need 5 and 3, which it looks like much like unlike the case. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong part here. Much like the case with the arms, it doesn't quite matter which leg is which side. So I'm just gonna take A5 and A3. So we're gonna take a 5 and a 3. And what it's asking for here, honestly, it looks. Sometimes I gotta have it myself. You gotta give it a better look. It looks like it'll be easier if we have the 4 ready to go. So we're gonna take the 4 off as well. We're gonna hold it to the side so we don't get it confused with the 3. And what we're gonna do here with the 5 and the 3 is we're gonna take this circle part here, and we're going to fit it right around this circle here. And this is going to act as like our semi-movable joint. And then we're going to complete the leg by taking the other half, the 4-piece we put to the side, lining up its pegs with the appropriate holes on the 3-piece, the 3-piece suit. And you give it a nice snap. Snaps right into place with no trouble. So that's cool. And then you have a little joint here that can kind of move up and down. This is like the ball joint that'll go into the socket on the Gengar itself. So our next step to completing this leg is to put its foot on. So our foot is whole, which is not normally the case. Sometimes you gotta like put some pieces together, put like the bottom of the foot to the top of the foot. But it looks like our foot is just a foot. It's ready to go, and we just have to stick it on. So we're going to make sure we put our foot on in a way that's anatomically correct. Hopefully. If not, I'm sure you can spin it. Yeah, you can give it a spin. That doesn't matter. It's pretty loose enough to spin here, so that's cool. So we have our leg and our foot. I was kind of close about how we were going to assemble our foot in a way that, for whatever reason, there are stickers for the bottom of the feet. I think almost all of the Pokemon models I've done have feet stickers like this. I'm not a huge fan because you're kind of just putting the sticker over nothing, which makes it very easy to mess up. This went on pretty well though. You can still kind of see some of the blank space, but it's hard to see, and it's the bottom of the foot, so I'm not terribly worried about it. So, here's the bottom of the foot. And before we do the other leg, which would be logical, is to have 2 legs ready for our guy here. But no, we're gonna put this leg right on, take the ball joint, put it in the hole. That fits in pretty easily. Again, you can kind of like spin the foot after the fact if it doesn't fit quite the way you thought it should have. Actually, pretty good articulation here for the foot. You can you probably don't pull it all the way around because then you open Gengar's head and it comes out. But you can put it forward like he's sitting. Back, I don't know why. I don't think Gengar's kneel, but if you want your Gengar to kneel, or you can just have it straight down so you can stand, move it out to the side so he's doing like a weird pose. Pretty movable. Pretty happy with that. Again, though, nothing getting moved here moves anything else on here, which is unlike any of the other Pokemon I've done. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's just finish them up, see how it looks, and move on from there. So we're just going to repeat the same step from the other leg. We're going to take 3 and 4 off. We are going to make sure that 4 is separate from 3 from now, so we don't get them confused, because we still have to take the joint part, part 5. And we have to take the round circle as opposed to the squared circle, which is where we wrestle. And we slide that right into the leg piece here. We pick up our piece 5, the other half of the leg, and we line up the circles correctly. Again, this is a great model to start streaming with because it just fits together so nicely. Snaps right into place. Give me a little bit of trouble right there, but again, that's because I tried to think and talk simultaneously, which stupid. Never do that. And then we're going to take our last piece off of this sheet. The bottom of the foot. We're going to take the bottom of the foot. Leg was hiding behind the Gengar. We're going to take the bottom of the foot. We're going to put it on in a way that we think makes it anatomically correct. But again, we can spin it if not. No biggie there. It's not permanent once we click it into place. Clicks right into place. Again, great one if you don't do this normally and now you're interested. And a great one for me to start streaming with because of how easily it's all going together. Maybe next time we'll do something a little more difficult and we can watch me struggle. But for now, we're gonna keep coasting. We got our foot sticker. We're gonna take the foot sticker, and we're gonna take the foot sticker right here, and we're going to take the foot sticker. This foot sticker went on just as poorly as the other one, but again, it's not too noticeable, and it is the bottom of the foot. I can live with it. If you're a perfectionist, use the tweezers. Use the tweezers, take your time a little better, maybe take it off, try again. I'm fine with it. Bottom of the foot. We're gonna take the ball joint here. We're gonna stick it in. We had the foot on anatomically correct, so that's cool. And this is our Gengar so far. Right here. Does he stand pretty well? He stands pretty well. And, you can articulate him a little to balance him if you need to. His arms move. I'm pretty happy with the quality. I wish there was more of that, move the arm, moves the tongue or something that some of these other ones have. But it is a little better articulated than I'm giving it credit for, despite my disappointment. I feel like the arms are a little clunky, but they're fine, and they still serve the purpose of being flabby little Gengar arms. So this is our Gengar. Except for the fact, we chose open mouth. Or I chose open mouth. Which means he needs a tongue. Be cruel and unusual. Gengar with no tongue. So now you can stand on your own without rolling around like a potato while I get your tongue ready. I'm not going to take the sheet out because this is pretty straightforward. We can do a short tongue, which is kind of like a, or obviously we're not going to do that because we have the other option of the long tongue. So we have the long tongue here because that's the exact correct answer of which tongue our Gengar should have. And that doesn't snap into place entirely easily. But it went in pretty easily with a little bit of force. And now our Gengar is complete. I feel like this is easier to store and pose with the short tongue, but I don't care. This is the Gengar that God meant us to have. the God-given long-tongued Gengar. I'm going to try to stand him so you can see him. I think the tongue's going to block his legs, but let's just... He stands pretty well on his own. I'm pleased. Again, I'm not thrilled with the arms. It would be cool if, like, moving the arms, move the tongue, like some of the other Pokemon ones I have. But, you know, for a simple, we're gonna do this on stream for the first time kind of moment, I'm pleased. So this is our completed Gengar. I'll try to, like, spin him around so we can see him from all angles. I like the eye stickers. Maybe the other eyes, if I didn't want the shifty eyes, might have looked cooler because we would have seen the natural plastic instead. But I like the cartooniness that it gives it, so I'm cool. I'm down. I think I'm going to take these unused eye stickers and just put them somewhere creepy. Like give my microphone over here eyes or something. Like my Gengar possessed my Yeti. That'd be sick. Gengar possessed Yeti. So this actually went a lot faster than I planned. Which is a good thing. Then I brought a backup plan. And that's a harder one. So what do you say? Do we double down and do a Lugia? 2 of my favorite Pokemon, 1 stream? My laptop still thinks I'm in California, so it's only 7:48 a.m. We have the whole day ahead of us. Let's do it. So we're gonna get this Gengar stuff out of the way. Say goodbye to the head we didn't use, which will never be seen again. Get all this stuff out of the way. Get the sheet out of the way. Now that one easily, which only means the Lugia will be very hard, and I'll be late to work, and I'll get fired, and I'll just have to build Pokemon models on stream all day for the rest of my life. Which, until I have to pay my bills, which would be awful, but, you know. Alright, so say goodbye to the Gengar box. Where can we put Gengar so he's, like, always lurking in the distance while we move on to Lugia? Right here? Right here? Yeah. Perfect. No, I'm gonna knock that over at least 8 times, but it's fine. So let's rip open Lugia. Let's get to work here. Tear up the Fort Knox. It is the box of this Pokemon. Clean up the trash later. I do have to make sure I don't fool myself into thinking it's actually 7:50. So we're gonna keep an eye on the clock here. The real clock, not the West Coast time clock on my laptop. Alright, so we get this part of the box. Put it over here so we can put stuff that we need to put out of our way in it. This looks like it has a lot more going on. That's exciting. And if it doesn't, that's cool. Because we got 2 in 1. We first time ever we get a twofer. 2 of my favorite Pokemons. Is Pokemon? No, Pokemon's just plural. Like fish is just plural, right? Like multiple Pokemon are just Pokemon. Clearly, I'm no Pokemon expert because that's my second botch of thinking I know what I'm talking about. No, just the Lugia instructions seem way more complicated than what we were doing before. That's exciting. So it looks like they start with the wing. No, I have no idea what this is starting with. We'll figure out as we go along, right? So give me a second, and I will flip this around for you. Don't forget, later, either on the stream or be in the comments of the YouTube video to follow, we're going to name these Pokemon. So we're still going to name this Gengar later. But if you have any suggestions right now on the Twitch, you should throw them out. And we'll do the same with this Lugia. We'll name them later. But the first step is actually, I have no idea what it's going to be. It looks like some kind of joint piece for the tail. Looks like it may be for the tail. So we'll start there in a second. We're just going to open all these bad boys up quick. For all my my Pokemon card collectors and myself, the hockey card collector, we get this almost pack opening sound simulation for you, so that's nice. I hope that really gets you going for the day. This looks like it's going to be a lot more into it. That's cool. I can tell just from these sheets. This could be like 4 sheets to work from this time instead of like 2.5. Maybe a sticker sheet to use. Clean up all the trash later. I'm an adult. Okay. So we need to find both the B1 and B2 sheet. And then we call bingo if we have bingo. This is A1, which is not what I need. And this is A2, which is also not what I need. So that's a good start. You'd think, I mean, I don't know how these things work. I shouldn't say like it's that easy. But you'd think the first step would be on the first sheet, right? No. So from the B1, I need piece 5, which is seemingly, again, I think it's part of the tail, the Lugia tail. And then I need piece 10 from B2, which is bingo. B210. So this is going to be one of those interesting like joint parts that actually move around and cause something, because they kind of show you how it should move when it's together on the sheet here. So it looks like this part goes to the inside. Like this. And that becomes like a hinge of sorts. And then we actually take the B14 piece, which looks very similar to the piece we have, and we attach it to the other side. It looks like we do so like this. This is a tricky one. See, this is what we should have started with. Get the juices flowing first thing in the morning. So this doesn't seem right anymore. We're gonna take this out. So we're going to hold this the way I see it on the picture. And then we're going to take this, put it in what I think is the correct way right here. And then this looks like... So that looks like it goes in like this. Yo, what's going on? Gengar went very easily, so we started a Lugia, and not as easy, which is fine. Oh, I see how this is supposed to go now. I was trying to connect the wrong parts together. That's nice. Thank you for following Sonic Hellcat 92. That's one of my friends on the PlayStation there. We had a whole conversation about if their name meant they liked Sonic once. I don't think they were there for it, but you know. Thanks for following. Thanks for being a Sonic fan. Alright, so we figured out the first confusing piece of the Lugia. So it can only get better from here. I say with confidence. And I shouldn't. So we got this weird tail joint together. It feels like it should move more fluidly than this. But, you know, this is what we have. It's Zoids, too. Oh, okay. Alright, so we need piece 1 and 2. From this guy right here. We're making the tail of a Lugia right now. Gengar's in the corner watching. He's kind of getting pushed to the side though, so we'll just move him away for now. All right. So then we slide this part of the tail right here. I believe. It's a little hard to tell what part is what here. But this seems right. It could go like this. No, you can kind of tell that it's like this. There's like a weird little like tail feather piece we're gonna put on next. A29. The nice thing about these Pokemon ones, which kind of came up during the Gengar portion of things, is everything comes off very nicely. It doesn't take a lot of coercion to make right. So we're gonna put his little tail feather thing onto his little tail thing. And then we're gonna take the bottom half of his tail, which is the other piece 2 of A1. And we're gonna complete his tail right here. And this is gonna slide into place. This is all gonna snap together nicely. So after a little bit of confusion on the tail joint itself, we have a tail. The top doesn't snap together amazingly, but I think it's because it's got this like tail feather thing on the back. But we have our Lugia tail. Oh, this spins around, so even if I did it backwards, you know, it's easily fixable, and we didn't have to dwell on it the way we did. But yeah, the tail is a little confusing just because the picture's kind of small for such a big, bulky part. But we have the tail, which looks like it does have some motion to it, even if not a ton. But we have our Lugia tail with its little tail feather thing. Let's see. After our tail, we have what looks like it's going to be a back piece. So we're going to take the A1 sheet, which is right here next to me. We're going to take off piece 6, which looks like the back of Lugia. So this is actually one of the first times that it didn't come off entirely cleanly with the Pokemon sets here. So we're just gonna give it a little sand right there. And what I like about this Lugia is the color is not one I feel like I can ruin, so I'm not too worried about doing the sanding. Which sometimes I get a little paranoid that I'm gonna make a mark that's never gonna go away. But not quite what's going on here. We're good there. So from this sheet right here, B1, we need piece 3. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot to the inside of this Lugia, which is going to be a lot more exciting than the Gengar was. As much as I love Gengar. So we're gonna take this piece right here. We are going to line up the pegs with the holes. This is a lot more straightforward so far than the tail joint. This is gonna pop into place right here. And then on the B2 sheet, it looks like almost like this is gonna be like the neck mechanism. Comes right off perfectly. I would have no idea when I started this that this little neck piece would be such a integral part of what we're doing. It almost looks unrelated, but it's not. It has purpose, just like everything else here we're doing. So that slides right into here, where the neck should be, to be a neck joint. It is one of those pieces that kind of just sits around awkwardly until it's all together. So we gotta be careful to put this down in a way that doesn't make it fall out and make us forget where it is, and all the tiny little things that can go wrong with when you're working with tiny little plastic pieces. So we are going to put together our first wing with B217, which is right here. And I know what you're thinking. The other wing piece on the sheet must be the other side of the wing, but it's actually not. We need piece 8 from B1. A little silly, but again, I don't know why they decided to do things this way. If we had one of my friends who's a little more knowledgeable in this, they could probably tell us. But so these are gonna click together pretty seamlessly. The pegs go in the holes. I'm actually getting a little bit of resistance right here, but you know, just force it a little, it goes right in. Snaps together nice. That is a nice snap sound, to be honest. So Lugia doesn't go together as easily as Gengar so far, and not just because of the tinier pieces, but just it doesn't snap together as well, which is probably in part of it's not giant pieces like Gengar was. There's a little bit of weirdness right there from when we tore off the plastic. We can give that a little sand quick. And again, this is a color I'm not worried about ruining, so that's nice. I can really get in there. Cool. So we have one of the wings, which means now we'll probably make the other wing. But it looks like before they actually want us to put this one on. Push it in so that it grips the thick pin. Alright, so we have a little bit of clear instruction there about how this should go on. So I'll take it out so I can explain a little bit better as I do it. Just put the wings on Gengar for a hybrid. Oh no. I wish that joint was the same. But that was like a ball joint. You missed the ball joint, but this is more of like a vice grip almost. So there's like a spine here that Lugia has, and we gotta put the little arm here. Just kind of make sure it grips that, and then twist it so the pegs go into place. I do like the idea of the the hybrid though. Here's the Gengar. Again, we can pretend. We can just put like the Lugia spine behind his spine. Caw. So we're gonna name Gengar later. And we're gonna name Lugia later too, but we'll give it its other wing first. Yeah, I was very disappointed with how the Gengar didn't like do much with movement, but this Lugia looks like it's almost gonna be like too involved. So we're gonna have two extremes here. It kind of works. What the Lugia the Lugia wings on the Gengar? If they had the same ball joint and could go in there, that would be sick. I would totally do it. Man, I kind of want to find a way now. Well, we'll get them together correctly first, and then we'll worry about that. So we're gonna line up all the circles and the pegs. Again, this needs a little more force than the Gengar did. All right, you know what? We're doing it. Nah. What arm would this be? That arm. No, there's no way this is gonna fit in here. Like absolutely none. The hole's not even big enough, unfortunately, to fit the whole like. Oh wait, it kind of went in. Nah. It doesn't stay, unfortunately. I can almost get it in, but yeah, you're right though. The wings do have like kind of have fingers. All right, but yeah, see, this is more of like a ball joint, so that just fits in really nice. Really nice. We'll put Gengar over to the side again. And then we're going to do the same. Make sure the grip thing grips the spine. That's a little metal. Make sure it grips the spine. And then put the pegs into place. And we're definitely going to have some good flapping action. I don't want to do it without the other piece there to hold the wings in place, but here's an idea of the flapping action we're about to have. Alright, we have both wings on. And then we have a piece that's gonna like pop in place and make sure those wings stay in while we build the rest of the body. And that piece is right here on the A1 sheet. Oh, I'm sorry, the B1 sheet. This little chest protector right here. Lugia definitely more of a battle than Gengar was so far. But if we were fighting Pokemon, I'd imagine Lugia would be a tougher battle. But you know, that's a debate for a different day. All right, so we officially snapped that on. The wings are in for good, and I can do some hardcore flaps. Would I say the build difficulty is legendary? Maybe. maybe they do that intentionally. So like the more legendary the Pokemon is, the harder it is to put together. That would make sense. But then I'm sure Pikachu will somehow still be really complicated and like talk somehow and have a voice actor. But that's we won't bring that. We won't bring that negativity here. Rattata's just already together. Yeah. Oh yeah, I made that joke when I opened the Gengar box. I was like, oh, here it is, unboxing over. And it's just a bunch of piles of plastic. We're going to stand these wings a little bit more, because they are a little funky. And I'm not worried about ruining this color the same way I am with the purple. And like Ditto's just Play-Doh. And you just like morph it around a different one, and it's just, that's how you copy it. Alright, we get the wings. They're in place. What's our next piece of the puzzle here? Oh, we're gonna take our tail piece right here. This is kind of funky looking. And it looks like it goes in like this. This tail is going to be the death of me. It's like the hardest part of this whole thing for no reason. So it looks like it goes in like this. But it has like the tail facing this way, which seems wrong. But I'm not gonna tell the instruction sheet how to build its Pokemon. So the tail goes in this way, not the other way. Oh, I guess that looks kind of right now. This tail is way too complicated. Like, this tail could have been one piece we just shove in at the end. Like the tongue on Gengar. We could have just shoved that in bad boy right in and called it over. But instead they made this tail the most complicated piece of the bird. It's the dark meat. And then we have another piece of the body we have to put on top of that now. Alright. This is pretty straightforward. We take all the pegs, line them up with the holes. Tongue tail. Oh, should we take... I don't think that's going to work as well as the arms did. Taking the tongue and putting it where the tail goes. Again, it has the tail like this, which seems wrong, but again, I'm not gonna tell the sheet how to do its job. See? Alright, I'm gonna flip you over. It looks like our next piece of business is actually gonna be the head. We're gonna give Lugia a head now. That's good. You've arrived to distract you, Kirby. What the hell's going on, dude? Kirby, I had a fun idea. I had a fun idea for a stream that I want to get you in on, and I'll message you on Twitter about it later, so I don't confuse the people here for Pokemon with our other junk. So I'll definitely let you in on that later. Let's see. All right, we're gonna work on the head. You're a Pokemon enthusiast, aren't you, Kirby? Am I making that up? B2. Where's B2? Oh god, these parts are little. Oh no. Alright, I need this little 13 piece right here. Wait, the power of 1? Is that how you're confusing me? Because it's working. You need this tiny little... Well, Sonic Hellcat agrees with you. Oh my god. Listen, guy. Alright, so we put this these tiny little pegs and these tiny little holes right here, which happens fine enough. But we have to put some stickers on too, some tiny little stickers, which if you've been following along the way, you know, I hate. So we're gonna put these tiny little. Put these tiny little stickers on so that Lugia can have the proper color of the inside of his mouth. Pokemon 2000, the movie starring Lugia, is called The Power of One. Is it? I just thought it was Pokemon 2000. Am I like getting Mandela affected right now? Is that like always the case and I just didn't know it? Because I just straight up thought it was only Pokemon 2000 and that was like the whole name of the movie. And to be fair, knowing you could have been talking about literally anything. Just saying. Oh, I took the sticker off prematurely because I was distracted by the Pokemon trivia. Listen, man, I'm a Pokemon fan. Just a lot to keep up with sometimes. And I goofed. And I got Mandela affected, kinda. Now that there's a few of us here, what are we gonna name Gengar? What are your official votes for Gengar's name? Oh god, the sticker is AIDS. I'm like looking over to make sure Kirby's not jeering me even harder. Maki? That's what you want to name Gengar? That's your official vote? For this guy right here? Who had Lugia wings earlier? Man, I hate little stickers. But that's okay. We're gonna put together this little like mouth part here. This one is definitely way more detailed. I can't complain there. Considering there's like 4 pieces just to the mouth here. Alright, we have the bottom half of the mouth together. And I guess we just put it away for now. So we're just gonna put that mouth we spent so much time with the sticker for away. We're gonna take B17. And we're gonna... It doesn't come off amazingly, but came off good. Good enough. Get a little bit of a sand. Again, I have the luxury of not being worried about ruining this color. Okay, so we need to take this half of his head. Take this half of his head, and we have to connect it to his neck over here. So we're going to slide the circle peg into the circle hole. Is this who you're naming Gengar after? Is this a Gengar that eats peanut butter M&Ms? That might be my choice for the name, if that's the case. But we're gonna wait to see if more people have any votes. We're gonna leave it up to the YouTube comments too when I download this from the VOD later. Yeah, this is strange how they want this mouth part to go in. Alright, so this looks kind of weird and frightening right now. But we have no eye Lugia with its half of its face, but all of its bottom jaw. But it's definitely coming along. And I assume next is just going to be the other half of the head, which it is, B16. Bingo. And we're done with B1 now, so we'll put it at the bottom of the trash here. So we have a good potential name candidate for Gengar. Do we have any ideas for Lugia? Okay, that mouth definitely has some good flexibility. That's awesome. The mouth opens and closes like that. I'm gonna sand down the back of his head a little bit here because not amazing, but again, not worried too much about this color, which is nice. All right. So we have this much of Lugia so far. Muglia the Lugia. Luigia. We'll just give him a green hat and a big mustache. Oh, this is what I was talking about with Gengar, how he doesn't do it like other ones do. When I move the neck head thing, the wings flap. So that's pretty cool. All right. But we have most of a Lugia head now. I feel like I missed a part along the way, but according to this, I didn't. So never mind. Because I feel like this sticker is supposed to be the top of its mouth, but until it tells me to do it, I'm not doing it. Because the stickers drive me nuts. So we're going to start giving him his eyes. So on A2 here, which we haven't really used at all, I need part 10, which is right here. We're going to just snap that right on where it goes. Again, this is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to line up the slots and the pegs with the holes. And then we're going to take the piece 11 off of the same sheet, the same A2 sheet. And we're just going to do the same thing to the other side. And for a lack of better term, I'm just going to call this his eyelids. So we're going to make sure he has both of his eyelids. I don't see like these are his eyes, but I don't know. I guess it is. So this right eye, or left eye, it would be, does not fit in as easily as the left. But, work it a little bit, push it in nice, and we have eyeless Lugia with his eyelid things. Am I a fan of Shimmy? I've never played one, to be honest with you. Jeer me as you wish. Lugia. You have a bunch you need to sell / part with / help. Look, is this like the other day when you're trying to sell me your friggin' DVDs? You just gonna keep trying to sell me your old stuff? Yeah. I'm gonna rip this and put it on YouTube later. To answer that question. Hi YouTube. Kirby says hi YouTube. Open his mouth better. Yeah. Alright. Head mostly together. It doesn't want to put the eye stickers on yet either, so maybe that's when we'll put the other mouth sticker on. What it wants to do instead is put this blue chest piece on. So we're going to do that. It's like chest protector. Like Umpire Lugia. So we're going to put that in there. Really straightforward. 3 circles, 3 pegs. Starting to look more and more like a Lugia, which is the goal. So we get the chest piece on, and the next part is actually the back. We're going to give it a back. So we're going to take this weird, like, just because I want you to enjoy the wonderful adventure that is Finding Nemo doesn't make some sort of swindling car. That does make you some kind of swindling carny. We're going to take this weird, almost bug-like looking piece off of its thing here. And we're going to fit it here. His chest or his tummy? I guess it's tummy, now that you say it like that. I guess his chest is more like up here. You raise a good point. This is why I don't teach anatomy. I just sell hats. This is a weird fit, because it's kind of going to go like underneath this lip. And then the pegs go in the holes, but barely, just barely stick out of them. So like, if you want a better look at that, I'll do it again for anyone who wants to try this later by themselves. You kind of like take the top and like fit it under this lip, and then like the pegs barely poke out of the holes here. Pokey anatomy. That would be a great YouTube channel. I'm sure someone's already done it. It probably exists. It's probably out there. Where like, they just break down the Pokemon anatomy and what their bone structures would look like and how their organs would be arranged to fit inside them and weird shit like that. I'd watch that. I'm gonna look that up after I'm done here. And if it doesn't exist, maybe we should do it. I feel like we're gonna have to find someone who can draw better than we can to really make that come to life, but that could be fun. Alright, and now there's one more back piece that goes on top of that back piece. This white one right here. And then these pegs are going to line up with the same holes that are made, that barely stick out of the holes on the other back piece. And now most of that blue is covered. Most of that blue is covered, and now Lugia just kind of has these spines. These spines that run down its back. Figuring out how Blastoise works would be interesting. That would be very interesting. It's just two Squirtles firing friggin' Super Soakers out of his back. That's what I'm going with. That's my official answer. This is our Lugia so far. I still feel like the tail should be this way. But I'm not gonna tell the sheet how to do its job. We're gonna put it back the way it has it. The other thing with this tail, for anyone who might want to try this one at home someday, doesn't stay together great. I definitely keep like working it back into place as I go. It's not egregious, but you can definitely kind of see where it's coming undone a little at the top. But we'll move forward. You can't go backward. Time marches on, like that TikTok we watched about the guy at work. Oh, the leg's gonna be interesting. Okay. So the top half of the leg we're kind of gonna like put together in pieces right onto the body, and then we're gonna like insert the bottom feet part, which is that's an interesting way to go about it. The sheet is correct. I agree. That's why I'm not gonna tell it to do its job, but I'm gonna just put it where it says it goes. So I need A1-3 and A1-4, which is right here. So we get those. And instead of just simply sliding these together, which is what made this interesting, is we have to do it around the body itself. So we need to take this part, this half of the leg contraption, slide it into this groove right here, which is going to form like its joint, kind of. And then do the same with this one, slide it over that groove that's made, and then push them together to meet in the middle, thus connecting all the pegs and holes. So give that a nice, good, solid click. Yes, yeah, I agree. I feel like building the legs separate and then attaching them after is what I would expect to run into. But yeah, these like you kind of like build on as you go. They kind of like had to slide them onto the joint part to give it the mobility it needs. And then we need its foot piece, which is kind of what I started talking about with Gengar a little bit, about how it was weird it didn't do this. You have to like put the bottom part of the foot onto the top part of the foot. But instead Gengar just had like one foot piece that you just slid right in, and then like a sticker that made the bottom of the foot, which was kind of weird. But well, this is more what I'm used to with the Pokemon feet. Is you have to like take the bottom part of the foot and slide it into the top of the foot to make one foot. And then we're gonna slide the foot onto the leg. And we have a one-legged Lugia, the Zach Gowan of Lugias, which is a reference probably only Kirby gets, but that's fine. He's good at doing that the other way around. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. We're going to take off the two pieces. And we're going to build them right onto the body itself. by taking like the lip here, slide it into the groove. That's a name I haven't heard since like 2005. Yeah. All right, so it's not just a reference for Kirby. That's good. We're gonna slide this groove in too. This one worked a lot better because I noticed there's kind of two grooves this time. So we've built its other leg. Now we have to build its other foot. If this is deemed a success of like something that's kind of like cool and fun to stream, maybe I'll do the Poe Dameron X-Wing one day that I got that day when I was with Matt and him and such, and never touched again. That is probably a tough one. That'll probably be a challenge, but a fun one. You know, and it's Bro Dameron. I'm having fun. I don't know if it works as well as the streams I thought it does. So I'm gonna watch the playback later and decide. So we got its foot together. This is gonna be put on YouTube as a video regardless though, because I already kind of advertised it as such and kind of want to put more stuff on the YouTube channel. It might just be better just to record YouTube videos like this and not worry about streaming it first, but then I don't get to talk to Kirby and you guys, so that's no fun. This foot's giving me a lot of trouble. Wow. Did not see that coming. The other one slid right on easily. There we go. Nice click. Lugia has 2 feet now. This most certainly finally looks like a Lugia. I am again going to contest that if the tail was this way, it could stand. But the sheet's always right. The legs don't move the tail or anything, but the head does move the wings, so that's cool. A lot more mechanisms in there than Gengar had for sure, which led to an awkward beginning of this model because I was kind of like, what? They want me to do what? All right, so we put on the other foot. Oh, funny enough, it tells me to turn the tail around at the end. Yo, thanks for the follow. I don't exactly know how you pronounce that, to be frank with you. But I know who you are, and thank you. But yeah, after all my bitching, it tells me to turn the tail around, so that's good. The sheet's always right, as we mentioned. Not thrilled with this tail, but maybe it's just my own shoddy craftsmanship. Alright. We got the feet on, we got the tail in. And it looks like the next step it wants from us is to build like a base for it. So that's cool. We're going to take this big circle part right here. We're going to take this screwy part right here that almost looks like it's neck that we had to build. And click that into place right there on the stand. It looks like there's 2 different ways you can decide to stand it. I'm gonna go with this way because it makes more sense to me. The other stand kind of defends the awkward tail placement, and I'm not about that. So we're gonna use the other stand and use the tail in a way that makes sense. So that pops right on there. And now, with the stand together, we can kind of show off how it sits like this, thus making the tail in a better position. It does, to be fair though, it does justify the other tail placement very well with the other stand. You know what? I think we are going to use that stand. Because as much as I like the tail this way, I almost like the action poseness of it with the tail the wrong way. But, you know. It's cool to try them out both. It still hasn't told me to put the other stickers on, which is kind of awkward. So if it never tells us to, maybe we'll just screw the rules and just do it anyway. Alright, so we're going to put the stand on like that instead. Not like this. Yeah. We use tail whip. All right. So here we have the action scene. Oh, that's weird, the way it wants you to... So it says to pull the tail out a little, like this. And this way you can kind of click the stand into place. Oh, that's neat. That's neat though, how the stand kind of like intentionally clicks into that spot like that. Yeah, we're gonna do the tail the wrong way, like this. To use tail whip to give Matt a hug. Now, do we give it its eyes? We do. It wants it on the stand first so it can fully appreciate the surgery of eye transplants and upper mouth transplants. The only like kind of awkward thing about this is as I drop the sticker entirely. The awkward thing about this is it's already on the stand, and the stand clicked into place. So what we're going to do here... Try to use these to kind of help with the awkwardness of putting the sticker inside of its open mouth. Cool. So that goes in. That's a mouth. Yeah, the stickers aren't ideal for my chubby bass player's fingers, to be honest, but I find a way. And again, I think that sticker particularly ends up being worse than it actually is because of how it goes inside the open mouth that we already put together. And it didn't just remind you to put it on when it wasn't already attached. And the fact that the base is clicked into place kind of makes it awkward to move around. But, alright, we got a one-eyed Lugia. A one-eyed Jack Lugia. So we're going to go ahead and give it its other eye. The eye stickers went on amazingly well, even though they're smaller than the... So here's our open-mouthed, action-posed... Wait, move its feet up. Yeah. Action-posed, ready to strike Lugia. So let's take all this stuff. Let's put all this stuff in the box here. What's in the box? Alright, get the box out of the way. And here we have 2 complete Pokemon. So look at that. Again, Lugia is a lot more posable than the Gengar is, but I mean, whatever. He's spooky. He's spooky. Alright, so we kind of have some ideas for names for these guys. I won't make it official until it hits the YouTube. Because, you know, that'd be rude. But hey, not bad. A little under 2 hours, 2 Pokemon complete. 1 legendary in the stat book, and 1 legendary in our hearts. 2 of my favorites, so that's cool. The stickers came out clean. I appreciate that. These are gonna look cool on my desk. Maybe I'll just keep them down here for when I do the podcast. They'll just sit here and listen. Because eventually this whole Mario and Lugia. This could get a little awkward if I turn them this way, but we won't worry too much about that. But yeah, eventually we're gonna clean out all this salon stuff behind me and make this the official stream/podcast room. And maybe we'll just leave these down here to be like the first ornaments of the new room, the new studio. So make sure you also check out my podcast, The Bitter Mana Podcast, because that also takes place in this studio here. But we made 2 Pokemon today, and we're gonna name them later. Or if you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna name it now in the comments. So if you're here on Twitch, same YouTube channel, What That Meowth Do. And if you're on YouTube, go find the Twitch, What That Meowth Do. And we'll be friends everywhere. But we did it. We did it. I'm just like admiring my own work now. Look how nice. Alright, well, again, follow here and there, depending on where you are, What That Meowth Do on both. I apparently use the tag Nachos Italianos on Instagram and Twitter now, if such a thing interests you. And don't forget about the podcast too, Bitter Mana Podcast. And if you made it this far, I owe you a beer.